And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Monday. I think it's the 20th. And it's 2026. Hope you're having a good day. As always, a heck of a lot to cover. Serious talk on everything that affects you, the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the Morlocks in D.C. And we're going to do a bunch of that today because it's getting loud, and we'll explain. And anything else that we think matters. Simple as that. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice. We'll be nice and respectful unless you like Hamas and are racist and all that crap. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a big thing going on right now that really has everything to do with you, your money, your job, the future. You've been seeing it on TV. You've been watching it, how people that are not ashamed or afraid to tell you they are communists and Marxists and socialists, these people are gaining inroads with voters, winning a bunch of primaries. Now they have different terminology for themselves. Democratic, socialists, whatever. We've smelled them from miles away. They all have the same things going on. They hate Israel. And let me be clear why they hate Israel. It's because it's one of the greatest democracies ever in the world. Ever. They have to lie about it. Apartheid. That's the funniest crap I've ever heard. Israel is the most opposite of apartheid you will ever see. How do I know? I've been there quite the few. Every race, creed, color, gender, denomination lives there, plays there, works there together. Try finding Jews in all these other areas that they defend. That's Israel. Oh, and by the way, Israel has created massive wealth, economics to the north. They have created technological breakthroughs, medical advancements, many public companies, I can go on and on. That's one of the things about all these people. But there's a problem. You know what the problem is? The people that are complaining about them. So let me define a few things for you. And I hope you're listening. We'll do the markets in a little bit because the markets do suck right now. These socialists, Marxists, and communists, they profess they are for the people, but they're not. Just so you know, it is all about control and power. Decision making. The decision maker. Does not matter whether you know nothing about an industry. You want to run the joint. In New York City, they're opening up supermarkets run by the government to undercut price of regular businesses and potentially can put them out of business. They had one of these people on TV with Martha McCallum, and he said something to the effect of, first, landlords shouldn't make 12%. It's just ridiculous. So first, you need to know it's all about power, control. Number two is they always screw things up. Why? Because most of them don't have a clue about anything. If you just listen to them for 15 minutes, you're like, huh? What? Next, they're only socialists, Marxists, and communists with our money in our lives. with their own lives, they'll make as much money as possible. They got this one guy running on it, and he made $700,000 last year. You get my point. This is who they are. Also, they love taxes. It's never enough. But you must remember, these people believe in higher taxes, not to kill the wealthy, even though they profess, oh, it's all the wealthy. It's to prevent people from becoming wealthy. Why? Because wealthy don't need them. Successful people don't need them. They prey on those that supposedly need them, and they never get anything for it because there's always a cost. Nothing's free. You know that, right? They've tried to tell you things are free. And boy, they're out there in droves right now, and they're worse by the day. What is interesting is, I'm going to call them the Democratic Party for today, even though I've been calling them the Marxist Party. You have all these Democrats coming out against all these so-called democratic socialists. They really are. They're blasting them. Democratic pundits are coming out against them. And let me repeat, they're good for nothing. They create nothing, they produce nothing. They want to control everything. And they've destroyed everywhere they've ever been. You can read up about Cuba, you can read up about Venezuela. Venezuela was a fantastic place until Hugo Chavez took over, and then this creep Maduro. Fabulous places. There's your story. It's all power. It's all control. Nobody gets anything. Everybody gets kicked in the teeth when all's said and done. And the last part of it is, wealth will haul ass out of there. And I hear people saying that they don't mind, they want all the wealth out of there. I'm not so sure of that. But you know what the big problem is? The people calling them socialists, Marxists, and communists. First off, before I get to that other side, just remember, these people will call everybody else fascists. You know what a fascist is? It's an authoritarian. Somebody who wants to be in control of everything. Remember, what they call others is exactly who they are. That's all. Exactly who they are. But wherein lies the problem? See, they're not the problem. Because if the so-called other side was doing the right thing, they'd have a case. They'd have a case. Let's add it up. You ready? $2.2 trillion deficit this year. Let me explain what that means. They are spending $2.2 trillion more dollars than they are supposed to. That's number one. Number two, massive, over the top, gargantuan self-dealing in order to make yourselves wealthy, using the presidency to do it, and government to make your family flush. Anybody want to argue that? Let's continue. Recently, the president threatened gas stations, if you don't lower prices, or else. Socialism. Pardoning a ton of white-collar criminals who don't have to pay restitution now, and finding out that millions of dollars changed hands from those pardoned or from the families to you and your PACs. Taking positions in companies, the government doing that. Socialism. Up next, socialism. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Let me continue, because we're pointing out how these people were able to make inroads. Let me continue. Accepting another Air Force One from another country who you have business with, and you're going to keep it for yourself once you leave the presidency. Tariffs, saying it's your favorite word in the dictionary, which is a tax hike. How do you complain about others hiking taxes when you tried to have the biggest tax hike in history? Socialism. I can continue, but you get my point. 50% of the reason why these people are making inroads is because the people in power now are the problem. Massive debt and deficits, corruption, self-dealing, higher taxes, control, threats, threatening the central bank that's supposed to be independent, day in and day out, calling the head of the central bank a moron. This is the president. I can call him a moron, not the president. Want me to continue? And here's the shame of it all. Nobody can argue anything I'm saying. There's no argument here. This Republican Party is setting them up for the win. How do you fight that? If you were a free market capitalist, which this administration is not. They don't believe in free market capitalism. You know that, right? Tariff the farmers and then pay them off with our tax dollars because you're going to lose their votes? Socialism. Therein lies the problem. So these maniacs, these communists, are able to get inroads, make inroads, because they can say, well, look what they're doing over there. And we're going to do better. Do you realize this guy running New York City? He is a communist. Truest sense of the word. The worst possible scenario. The only good news is there's so much a mayor can do, but he's still the mayor of New York City. He's a communist. He's even used the mantra of communism. Not ashamed. He had a man at his house, the Gracie Mansion, who said 9/11 we deserved. And a bad communist at that. I and quite a few people are in recognition of this. I am contemplating big time about doing something about this and getting onto the stage. Because J.D. Vance sucks. Another one. And he will be more than likely the standard bearer in 28. Just letting you know. We're going to need somebody that believes in the people of this country and their hard work and their abilities and their wanting to do better every day for themselves and their families, who believes in free markets, who believes in other countries' sovereignty and not threatening Greenland. The latest one, yeah, we're going to dominate Venezuela and take all their resources. In what world are we supposed to take others' resources by force? So we're just letting you know, in the months ahead, we're going to be in serious contemplation in getting together with real free market capitalists that believe in you and let you make the difference in the country, not a bunch of people in D.C. making themselves wealthy. And I don't know if we're going to be successful or not, but we're going to try. Because enough's enough. You have people running on the left that hate this country and have curried favor with people that believe in terrorists. And if you know me, you know I don't say things I don't mean and don't have truth to them. If you don't mind, spend 15 minutes of your time and go look up these people. They're insane. And unfortunately, this administration and the Republican Party are giving them license because of what they are doing. We'll keep you informed. Seriously, we'll keep you informed. There are 3 words that every one of them have forgotten. We the people. That's why we don't know where Mitch McConnell is and how he is. That they refuse to put him out there to speak to his state. Being that he was running the Senate for so long, he should be out there. That's why Nancy Pelosi can commit insider trading for the last 20, 30 years and be worth $200 million. That's how President Trump, holy crap, is he taking advantage of the presidency like we've never seen before. They're making Hunter Biden look like a piker. And everyone, I don't care if you're R or D, MAGA, not MAGA, should be up in arms. Up next, we'll put a bow tie on it. And the markets. Not thrilling. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. All right. So, I'm sure you heard 3 more service workers dead, more injured. We're finding out also that the administration in the whatever department has held back how many injured from this war. Again, what happened to we the frickin' people? They're supposed to be working for us. Oh, and by the way, let me finish up with these words. Campaign finance reform. Remember that? One of the biggest lies ever that opened up the spigots for somebody to spend hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more. The other big lie. We move on. Few things that just stuck out. SpaceX is now $120. I hate the fact we have to continue to cover it, but I think it's important to explain to you what happened and to explain to you why we told you be careful, be cautious, and we don't have any edge except if it broke below $150, which was the open price when they brought it public, it would invite selling. And what did it do? It invited selling. Our next area was 135, the initial public offering price. We said if it broke that, it would invite more selling. It's now 120. And just remember, all our thoughts have been on what we said on day one. If I gave you a dollar bill, would you hand me a 5 or a 10? The answer is freaking no. Well, we were explaining to you, if you were buying this stock with a $1.77 trillion market cap at the initial public offering, with $18 billion in revenues, losing $5 billion last year, negative cash flow, and had to raise $25 billion through a bond offering, would you pay $1.77 trillion for that? And what did we tell you? And the Morlocks touted everybody. They had it up to $226 on the third day. It's now $120. A disaster. We're hearing the average purchase is in the 180s. A disaster. Wall Street again. And just remember, a lot of what we do is based on one word: precedent. And we have been highlighting to you for 2 years how many IPOs came out hot and crumbled because they brought them out at ridiculous levels. Well, this one was the mother of all ridiculous valuations. We don't know where it's going to go. We don't know what price. We just know it's under pressure. And I'm asked every day, well, what do you think now? And we're going to tell you the same thing. We have no edge. And you're still paying $1.5 trillion now, 1.5516, for $18 billion in revenues and losing money. Oh, and by the way, they had to delay a flight. Oh, and by the way, what was the other thing we said to you that I didn't hear anybody mention throughout the IPOing? And that is, they send up rockets into the air. Blue Origin had a rocket that exploded, imploded. What, you don't think that's a risk? Nobody's ever mentioned even that. So we just wanted to bring that up to you. And I must tell you, we're actually surprised how bad it's been. And by the way, it's hurting Tesla also. Elon Musk. And by the way, we also told you we think they're going to have pretty damn good growth going forward. But the market deals in current and maybe a little far out. They don't want to hear somebody saying 2032. It's like that bozo woman who's been calling for $1.5 million Bitcoin by 2030 and was calling it when it was 125,000, and now what is it? 60? So every now and then it is our job to just explain. The Dow was down 307 today. The Nasdaq only down 12, Nasdaq 100 only down 11. Semiconductors were up 400 on the open, just about, only finished up 70. And I must and the semiconductor artificial intelligence trade, there were some things up, but they all opened hot today. And guess what? None finished well today. So that's not good news. By the way, the Nasdaq today, early in the day, was 25,815, dropped 307 points. The Nasdaq was up 300 at one time today. Finished down 12. You know what that is? That's distribution. I don't like how Goldman Sachs was up like 90 on earnings day and has given it all back. I don't like how the 10-year yield is now up to 4.598. I don't like that Morgan Stanley also gave back all the earnings move and more. I don't like the advanced decline figures. I don't like that new yearly lows on the Nasdaq is triple new yearly highs. And on the New York, more than new yearly highs, new yearly lows than new yearly highs. The S&P, that's the S&P 500, is a little bit below the 50-day moving average now. Just letting you know. It's not good when the market's up strong early and finished weak. Simple as that. And the semiconductor artificial intelligence trade continues to be under pressure, notwithstanding bounces. That did not look great today. Give you an example, Seagate today hit a high at 831, closed at 802. SanDisk was up over 90, finished up 38. Micron was up in the 40s, finished up 17. Still up, but they've been under pressure, and we got some mountaintops going on. Mountaintops. So be careful. We have no clue what happens tomorrow. If anything changes, we'll gladly let you know. But today was crummy. And let me repeat, not thrilled with the 10-year yield near 4.6. Oil prices were up a little bit today, not a lot. And there's a lot of crap going on in the Middle East now. They tried to pop the market at the end of the day by saying something about peace talks, but then it came out and supposedly the president said revenge for our soldiers dying on bases in the Middle East. So we'll see. Right now, it's not very fun for me to report to you what's happening out there. And the market, let's just say deterioration. Yeah, Trump issues warning to Iran will pay many times over for the American deaths. And that's a little bit of that. Pay attention. We'll keep you informed. Up next, this, that, and the other thing is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, let me put in a little box for you this show today. We're tired of all these control freaks in D.C. on both sides of the aisle calling each other control freaks, fascists. There's a case for both sides now, unfortunately. And I take no joy in saying it, but the Republican Party, this Republican Party in leadership, socialist. I gave you every example. I can give you more. I can. And that other party, the inroads by these, I hate saying this, terror lovers, terror backers. By the way, they're not ashamed to even say it. The mayor of New York City has no problem bringing somebody to Gracie Mansion and taking pictures with big smiles with somebody who said 9/11. We brought it on ourselves. Who wants to arrest Bibi Netanyahu if he comes to New York City? The man running Israel, not the man running Russia, who invaded another country. A man running Israel who went after the people that murdered thousands of his citizens and raped numerous amounts of women and men. I'm sorry. That's his job. We are going to need somebody next to the Republican Party that does not self-deal, tells the truth, and is a free market capitalist that does not interfere with industry, central banks, amongst other things. And you know me, I don't think we should have a central bank. I am hoping somebody like Rubio is that man, but who the hell knows at this point? Who the hell knows? The World Cup. I gotta tell, I was in New York City, and the fans, I got to hang out a little bit with the Argentinians. Wow, do they love their country and their team? Wow. And in case you don't know, the Argentinian fans celebrated their team even when they lost. That's what I love seeing. Congratulations to Spain. Quite the weird game. Spain kicked their butt the whole time, but only scored in overtime. And what would be interesting is if they didn't score in overtime, it goes to penalty kicks. And they can lose. So they can dominate the whole game and still lose the World Cup. But no, they got to score late. And congratulations. I will tell you, New York City had so many things put up for the World Cup. And the great news is it went off very well. Throughout the weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm hearing it added $20 billion to our economy. $20 billion to our economy. We should get that again. $20 billion to the economy from all the visitors. Very good to see. I'm not sure where the next World Cup is, and if I must tell you, there was one game I could have gone to, and that was the one in Miami, and I just decided against it. I'm having a little regret. I should have gone to that game. I'm not sure where the next World Cup is. Anyway, congratulations to Spain. They were the best team. They were the best team by far. Anything else going on out there that affects things? I think the big thing right now is we're back to oil prices, which is affecting yields. And the hope is that something gets done soon, because we do not want to see oil prices back in the 90s, if higher. Fundamentally, forget markets for a second. Going back into the 90s, if not higher, will affect the consumer. Fact of life. They change how they feel, how they think, what they do, and how much. But as of this second, it looks like it's escalating a bit. I'm still pretty sure the president does not want to go back to what happened originally where all hell was breaking loose, because I'm pretty sure he knows the economics of if we have $100 oil again, to be watched. That's sore thumbs. But also now we're in the midst of earnings season. I got about 5 or 6 pages this week. You got GM, Capital One Financial, Google, IBM in the Dow. Google's in the Dow now, by the way. Tesla, Texas Instruments, Blackstone, Honeywell in the Dow, Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific. Did I say Honeywell? Intel this week, and many others. So be ready. As we have stated to you, it's pretty simple. We're up earlier, we stop working later, and we go through all the earnings reports, but most importantly, the reactions. You have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well, be well. Until tomorrow, have a good night.